people, or normies. This is why it's considered esoteric. As a result of this, you have pockets of deranged people who study old texts, scriptures, and societies in order to extract archaic values and worship them.
Okay.
The founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club are terminally online, smart assholes. I hate to admit it. The founders are clever. And I mean really fucking clever. The 4 founders are Gordon Goner, Emperor Tomato Ketchup,
you're fucking clever for
Gargamel,
figuring this
and
out.
No Sass. You may be wondering why.
Oh wait. I have watched a bit. I watched quite a lot of this. What the hell? It was like here. Yeah, it was here.
And you know, it's all of these like bored apes, and they just created this like story and this world.
Let's play a game of I Spy. The cover of this Rolling Stone art is a direct reference to Hieronymus Bosch, who painted pictures like these in order to hide things in them. Spot the racist dog whistle.
Racist dog whistle. Bro, racist dog whistle, yeah? I can't see it. Oh. Wait, what? Really? What the fuck? Whoa! That's a black... Is that a monkey's hand?
Ape hands are a racist dog whistle, alluding to the practice of Belgian King Leopold II cutting off Congolese hands for punishment in not working hard enough to produce rubber. The Congolese...
Bro, this is too in-depth. What the fuck? Bro, that's fucked. They cut... So it's a... That's...
then started cutting off fellow African hands as it became a currency valuable to the Belgians in itself. Never underestimate the ability for Bored Ape Yacht Club founders to be this demented. Let's try this again. This is footage of the Bored Ape Yacht Club video game. See anything interesting? What's up with these bananas? Why is the bushel of bananas conveniently shaped like a swastika? 4. Sass, Zayshawn Ali, software engineer. The 4th founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club goes by Sass, and going off the theme of hidden meanings throughout their entire project, this is also deliberate. SA is the abbreviation for Sturmabteilung, and SS for the Schutzstaffel. SAS, or SASS, is the combination of the 2 primary Nazi military divisions. There are 2 possibilities that explain the behavior of the founder.
Chat, it's actually crazy how all of them are linked. Like, you got, how are they gonna get out of this one? This man has literally exposed their whole entire company, even though these motherfuckers are smart to hide all of this. But the fact that every single thing, every single name that they have links to Nazis and some sort of like race, some fucked up race shit. It's crazy. Like, it's not a coincidence.
Number 1 is easy. They are neo-Nazis. Number 2 is a bit more complex, and Ryder believes we need new terms to describe what's happening. In other words, this is an internet troll's wet dream. Post-ironic racism on the world stage. This means that this is a meme, but it doesn't look like one because there's nothing to indicate otherwise. This can also be described as pose law. It's impossible to know if someone is joking unless they add an LOL at the end of a message to indicate how it's supposed to be perceived. In other words, Bored Ape Yacht Club founders are layering on the irony of troll behavior to the point where it's just doomed. The best way I can describe it is beating a dead horse until the horse comes alive again and then dies again from the irony. February 4th, 2022, Katie Natopoulos, a writer at BuzzFeed, wrote an article covering the identities of the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club. And where exactly do you think she got her information from? Ryder rips. However, she stated, Solano and Arano don't appear to have any particular red flags, which, as we know, is a flat-out lie. Pressured by Guy Osseri, Kate Natopoulos ran a softball story in an effort to save face. The more degenerative side of 4chan, including white nationalists, enjoy participating in the cult of Kek, a metaphorical, fictitious religion that worships Pepe the Frog. Think of it as a tribe on 4chan who considers everyone else not in the know as normies. armies. They wave the Kekistan flag, which is an exact ripoff of Prussia and Nazi Germany's Wehrmacht symbol. Their mission?
That's the
Troll
thing.
the
People actually pray.
liberals at all costs through meme warfare. By having shared symbolism and jokes, it is a way to communicate or dog whistle to other members that they, quote, embrace the principles of chaos and destruction that are central to alt-right thinking. The term Kek originated from World of Warcraft. When a Horde player types LOL to an alliance, LOL is then translated into gibberish spelling out Kek. This is because the two opposing factions in the game can't communicate with each other unless they are on the same faction. It just so happens that Kek is an Egyptian god that looks like a human with a frog head, hence Pepe. And guess what Kek was the god of? Darkness and chaos. Sound familiar? Surfing the Kali Yuga was not the only surfer innuendo that the alt-right adopted as lingo. In fact, they also used the word cowabunga to signify their alt-right beliefs to fellow members of the alt-right. It just so happens that one of Bored Ape's founder's wife had this exact lingo in her bio, which has now been deleted. And in September 2021, Bored Ape Yacht Club challenged the internet with a series of puzzles. Whoever cracked the secret codes would receive a Bored Ape Kennel Club NFT, a Bored Ape NFT, a Mutant Serum NFT, and 10 Ethereum. At the time, the value of these prizes added up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. This puzzle will demonstrate just how far the creators of Bored Ape Yacht Club are willing to go in order to play out their racist fantasy. This information is taken directly from this user's post on Medium. This whole puzzle started with a single stealthy tweet. Somebody left a strange note at the bar. The image contains a message, "Come find me below," with the cipher text of semicolon U8JJ6. This is a keyboard cipher, where if you look at the keys below each letter on a keyboard, you see that it spells /Jimmy. Entering this after boredapeyyachtclub.com will take you to a new page and you are able to load a puzzle game. Jimmy the Monkey is back on his bullshit again. In the clubhouse, the game is a 2D screen where you can click on rooms and interact with various objects. Most of the rooms contain a puzzle. The boat room contains a single interactable object in the room, which is a wall of dancing men. If you know a bit about ciphers, it's fairly quick to recognize that this is a Dancing Man cipher. The Dancing Man cipher is from Sherlock Holmes. Decoding the cipher.
Thanks. Wait, would you have to look? Look for one that's different or some shit.
Reveals the following message. This isn't a puzzle.
Oh, whoa. You got. Oh, wait. Is there like.
Clue. Suck on a banana, bozo. Love, Jimmy. This seemed to be a
suck on a banana.
Troll, as it was.
Wait, so how would you find what that means? Do you have to like... Oh, are they letters of the alphabet or something?
Not used in the final solution. The party room has two interactable objects in it. The first object is a dog collar with the numbers 0010 on it. This is just the ID number for the exact NFT that you would win if you were to crack the puzzle. The second object is a party poster containing song lyrics. The puzzle gives a selection of song lyrics sorted in alphabetical order by word, with one of the words being replaced by the word monkey. Solving this puzzle involves taking each lyric word bank, identifying the song, and figuring out which part of the song the lyrics are referencing. You sort each word in that set of the lyrics in ABC order and figure out what word has been replaced with monkey. This results in the following troll message. Wasted your time on this one, stupid apes. Entering the pool area presents you with two puzzles, one located on the inflatable duck in the pool and the other on a drink menu located next to the bar. This puzzle presents a list of duck-themed clues and their answer length. Going through and solving all of the clues results in the list below. With this answer set, reading the first letter of each answer gives the phrase "cocktails are shaken," which is a clue for the puzzle located next to the bar. Using the hint from the previous puzzle, we now know that this menu list is an anagram of cocktails. In addition, the text at the bottom of the menu indicates something extra was added to the drinks, hinting to there likely being an extra letter not used in the cocktail anagram. With there being 26 menu items, it seemed highly likely the extra letters or the cocktails used every letter A to Z for ordering when done. It is quickly realized all the cocktails start with a unique letter A to Z that, when put in order and reading the extra letters, gives Orange liqueur used in spritz. Final answer, Aperol. Upon entering the kitchen, a sheet can be found lying next to the sink. This puzzle provides instructions on what to do. Begin by identifying the dishes that are clued on the left and filling out the blanks on the right. The extracted letters, highlighted yellow on the sheet, spell the phrase Gibraltar's Barbary, which is referencing a specific monkey that lives on Gibraltar, the Barbary macaque. Final answer, macaque. In the library, you can start by clicking on the bust on the top of the shelf, which contains a puzzle scroll. This puzzle is a Mad Gab style puzzle as hinted by the title, Bus Dan Dush Elf, which, when read aloud, sounds like bust on a...
The fact that these neo-Nazis are willing to go this far, yeah, just for, like, it's like, it's fucked, man. Just to, what are they like? People are that fucked up in the world.
On a shelf. You can make 4 Mad Gab style phrases using one word from each column on the scroll. The output of each Mad Gab is its own clue to a word. This final output is yet again a Mad Gab where ooze 6 ciphers can be read as use 6 ciphers, a hint for the bookshelf puzzle. When you click on the bookshelf next to the fireplace, it shows you an enlarged version of the bookshelf. This bookshelf contains many different patterns throughout. As you start to group the patterns together, you will discover there are 6 separate puzzles using 6 different ciphers, as hinted in the previous puzzle contained in the shelf items. The monkey hands. There are 6 hands throughout the shelves using American Sign Language to spell weapon. Naval flags. There are 6 international maritime signal flags throughout the shelves that spell Nassau. 5-bit binary. There are 6...
What the hell? How would you know that? Some smart motherfucker has to, like... There's clocks. There's 1, 2, 3. They all tell different times. That's all I got. Maybe what else is there? Books, maybe not books. There's these. There is a bunch of these. There's a bunch of like thingy bottles, whatever they're called. That you store like alcohol in.
Groups of books colored orange and green. These books are 5-bit binary, which provides 10010, 00101, 00001, 10011, 01111, 01110. These can be converted to their decimal equivalent of 1851, 19, 15, 14, which can then be further converted to letters to read reason. Clocks. There are 6 clocks through the shelves. Each clock face has a different time, with both hands clearly visible. Using the clock hands as a flag semaphore, you can obtain the letters to spell salute. Book titles. There are some books facing forward with their titles clearly visible, and after reading through the titles, you will notice some of the words are from the NATO alphabet. Echo, Mike, Bravo, Romeo, Yankee, Oscar, and when you extract the first letter of each NATO word, it will spell embryo. Morse code. Between each of the bookshelves.
How would you know to do that then? Like, what? In your right mind, who the fuck is actually doing that? Like...
is a repeating pattern of a lighter color. Each shelf is a separate letter spelled using Morse code. If you decode the Morse for each shelf, it will spell analog. Now that we have all the words extracted, we need to extract the final answer. Looking at the words for a moment, it can be seen that the first letter of each word can spell answer when ordered correctly. Since the first letter spelled answer, we extracted the last letters to see if it provides an answer to the puzzle. The extract is Guanan, which is a breed of old world monkey, and it's the name of Rene Guanan. The game room contained 2 objects you can interact with. Man. The first one is a game called Jimmy the Asshole, which, after some playing, didn't appear to contain a puzzle. The second one is the game room puzzle. The flavor text for the puzzle is, there are lots of games to play here if you can figure out the rules. It also has some pictures of Hangman and Tic-Tac-Toe. These are big hints for what you are looking for and what the solution is going to be. The solution for this puzzle involved taking each puzzle string and figuring out the puzzle rules that encoded the text. Here is one example. There are a lot of P's, so we want to analyze that first. You start by separating each line by P. We are looking for game-related words, so we can guess the 2 words here are card and canasta. With these 2, we can deduce that that the rule for this puzzle is to replace the first letter with P, which can then be reversed from the cipher, which gives the following clue: card worth 50 in canasta. The answer to this clue is Joker. However, we aren't done here just yet. Now we need to apply the same rule we
Where'd you
discovered,
get Joker
replace
from?
first letter with P, to this answer to get a new answer out related to games. Applying the rule to Joker results in poker, the actual solution to this puzzle line. Here is the rest. Taking the first letter from each solution, you get the following phrase: Drooper's apartment pal. Drooper is a character from the Banana Splits, and his apartment pal is Bingo. Bingo is an ape, so we can confidently determine the answer is Bingo. The attic is one of the more difficult puzzles, and before we dive into it, we first have to talk about the skeleton in the crawl space.
What does that say? Is that Anna Edi Yeli?
The skeleton in the crawl space has a bunch of 3-letter phrases and some numbers, with the flavor text of NTH plus EAT. We know that we're trying to combine the phrases to spell words, with the numbers most likely being the length of each word. There's really no approach other than maybe looking up words that start with or words that end with, but the best place to start was realizing that NTH and EAT were clued as being connected and could spell N, the, at. After that, it is mixing and matching until you get something good out. The output you get is Anastasia Steele really loves the hexes used in the attic. This is a reference to Anastasia Steele from 50 Shades of Grey, which is referencing that the hex color codes in the attic are gray codes. This is basically a second hint for Bought It, which you can see in the attic section below. The attic starts with an image with some pixels and flavor text about having to feel your way around in the dark. This is a reference for being blind and hinting towards the pixels being braille. The phrase you get out of using colored pixels as braille dots: beginners always unlock dim old tones. If you take the first letter of each word as hinted by the word beginners, you get Bought It, which is a type of cipher. This is the one puzzle you can right-click and export the image, and it just so happens to be SVG. So we can extract the hex color codes accurately for the next step as hinted by the skeleton puzzle. Extracting all of the binary codes out and removing the lead 0, hex color codes, using Bought It and coding on the binary, you get the following. The only interesting thing we get is Calamar, which is another type of cipher. This suggests that our extract is valid, but the rest of it is cipher text. We can then use the string with a Calamar transposition solver, but without a key, it was just a bunch of guessing words as a key. Solvers of this puzzle got stuck here for a while until it was noticed that attempting some auto-solves on the grid, assuming 6 columns instead of 8, resulted in the final 8 letters looking like a scrambled version of Visionaire. Given the first set of data gave us Calamar, and having it almost end with Visionaire now, another type of cipher, was too likely to be a coincidence. Putting some effort in manually with a 6-column assumption, you're able to get the following. Using Calamar key of 412563 or 214563 gives an output that spells Visionaire at the end, giving us the following possible strings. Cutting Visionaire off the end and taking the remaining letters, we try to decrypt the cipher using Visionaire and testing keywords relating to bored apes and the puzzle. Eventually, they landed on the following: Australopithecus. At this point, it's time to solve the final solution. Taking the answer from each puzzles and sorting them in ABC, we get the following words: Aperol, Australopithecus, Bingo, Guanan, Macaque. If we examine the answers, we can extract even more information about what they mean. Aperol is an orange liqueur that only got popular after World War II. This answer is different than all the others, considering it is a drink that is meant to be ingested. Going off that theme, perhaps this is a metaphor for taking the red pill, as it sometimes appears red in color. Aperol also just has the word ape in it. Australopithecus. Of all the different possible answers they could have chosen, they landed on Australopithecus. Here's a little anthropology for you. In 1931, Ludwig Cole Larsen joined the Nazi Party and later undertook an expedition to German East Africa in search for a primitive man. In 1938 to 1939, he discovered Australopithecus afarensis at Laetoli without realizing the importance of his find. Ludwig attempted to prove that all people have a common origin, but that African people remained in the state of primitive man, while the Aryan race had developed. Such scholarship was at odds odds with most anthropological concerns of the day in Africa. He then
that
later lost his position as
whatever it's
professor
called,
in the course of the
Aryan race shit,
denazification
yeah,
after the
most,
war. Cole Larson
fact
is
that
not
race
highly
is
regarded
superior.
amongst contemporary
Like
East
they have
Africanists.
superpowers or
Bingo.
some
Bingo
shit
the
like that.
Gorilla is a major yet final
Blonde and
antagonist in the
blue eyes,
2019
like,
direct-to-video horror comedy film The Banana Splits Movie. Bingo and his friends are animatronics created by Carl to entertain children as the Banana Splits. However, after the show is cancelled, Bingo and his friends start a killing spree. You want to know something even creepier? Bingo only has 3 lines in the movie.
I wonder how the show's gonna end. Time's almost up. Time's almost up.
Bingo's last and most famous words. The only words Bingo ever says sounds just like accelerationism.
Oh, that's a bingo.
Is that the way you say it? That's a bingo.
You just say bingo.
Oh!
How
My
fun.
brother from Office.
Guanan has double entendre. He's the father of traditionalism, bringing the Kali Yuga to the west, and Guanan is also a species of monkey. Macaque also has double entendre. Macaque
Okay.
is a
Another-
racial slur
another
and
monkey?
a type
What
of
the-
monkey. By definition, there is a clear
really
distinction
like
of what
monkeys,
type
do
of
they?
monkey both Guanan and macaques are. They are part of the Old World classification of monkeys. In 2006, a Virginia senator was called out for using this slur. With close ties to Virginia, the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club would definitely be aware of this political disaster.
You too have gotten in trouble with words that you've uttered. Let me bring you back to August 11th. You were at a campaign stop and a young man who was videotaping it for the web campaign was there also. Let's watch.
This fella here over here with the yellow shirt, Macaca, or whatever his name is, he's with my opponent. And let's give a welcome to Macaca here. Welcome to America and the real world of Virginia.
And here's the young man, S.R. Siddharth. He's a resident of Virginia, an American citizen, straight A student at Fairfax High School, now goes to the University of Virginia. Critics say that macaca is a racist slur and that you used it because he was dark-skinned. What did you specifically mean when you said, welcome to America and the real Virginia? Why did you use those words toward a dark-skinned American?
Tim, I made a mistake. I said things thoughtlessly. I've apologized for it as well I should. But there was no racial or ethnic intent to slur anyone. If I had any idea that
So a
word
macaque is
to some people
a
in some
monkey.
parts of the world was an insult, I would never do it because it's contrary to what I believe.
Well,
and
where'd the
who I
word
am.
come from? It must have been in
Oh,
your
just made up.
consciousness.
Just made up word.
My theory is that the primate answers of this puzzle are a direct reference to the founders of the project, and Aperol could be seen as the red pill. The Boogaloo Boys were born on the weapon board of 4chan known as K. Think of them as paramilitary incels, or Chan LARPers. They can be classified by their Hawaiian shirts and absurdist meme styles to make anyone who calls them out look insane. It can be a very effective tactic when trolling. This Bored Ape Yacht Club shirt is an exact Boogaloo Boy Hawaiian shirt used to LARP by 4chan users. This is Ape 1488. The number 14 is a neo-Nazi dog whistle. It is a direct reference to the white supremacist slogan known as the 14 words. We must secure the
people
existence of our
actually
people
brought
and
that,
future
like,
for white children. The
they're literally
slogan was coined
supporting
by
their,
David Lane, a member
that's-
of the white supremacist
without even
terrorist
knowing.
group known as the Order. The number 88 is white supremacist alpha numerical code for HH, which stands for Hail Hitler. 1488, which is also included in the ADL database or the Anti-Defamation League, is a combination of these two hate symbols.
But the fact is, guys, I've been on the internet 20 years. I know pretty much about every single different slur that's in the English language and a few in other languages as well. So not only do I understand all the slurs, I also understand the euphemisms like 1488.
Here is where it gets really dark.
Smart
What do
guy,
you see
Asmund.
on this ape? No, not the bloodshot eyes. This ape is wearing a prison outfit with the
Yeah.
numbers 019807. If we take out the zeros, a practice in cryptography called null padding, we are left with 1987, which
Okay.
we can deduce is a year. You see, 1987 is a
Weapon
reference
in-
to the year that Rudolf Hess, a Nazi hero, died in the Spandau prison in West Berlin as a result of his conviction during the Nuremberg trials. It was destroyed the same year to prevent it from becoming a neo-Nazi shrine. Not everyone who has a Bored Ape is aware of the inherent racism. Let me point your attention to the sales activity tab. If someone is is selling an ape, they set the price. Interestingly enough, there is a pattern of selling apes for variations of 88 Ethereum, ending prices in 0.88 or 0.14. This is a cut and dry example of esoteric racism. Ape 6969 features the same prison jumpsuit and a Prussian helmet with a shit-eating grin. This is a troll hidden in plain sight designed to mock everyone who looks at it. The odds of Ape 6969, which is a troll in itself, having both the prison jumpsuit and a Prussian helmet is statistically near impossible. Apes in the Bored Ape Yacht Club project are adorned with various characteristics. This can include clothing, accessories, eyes, faces. Anything you see on these apes can be randomly generated to produce the final product that we see as an ape. By design, some of these characteristics are more rare than others, which means more desirable, which results in a higher price. Some of these characteristics are harmless, but there is a definite through line with one characteristic in particular: headwear. The Prussian helmet is known as a Picolob, which is a reference to the German Empire from 1871 to 1919.
That's a thing. Destroy the mad brute.
Helmet features an Ace of Spades card attached to the helmet, which was a custom American soldiers started in World War II, but continued in Vietnam. In Vietnam, however, American soldiers would leave an Ace of Spades on dead Vietnamese soldiers. The card in the Bored Ape helmet has a letter J on it, which would indicate a Jack of Spades, not an ace. The founders of this project are not sloppy writers and wouldn't get history wrong if it meant they could include yet another racist reference. Maybe this explains it. Based on a 1938 decree in Nazi Germany, every Jew in Germany had to carry an identification card marked with J for Jewish at all times. The sushi chef headband is a Japanese headband known as a hachimaki. Hachimaki can have different Japanese characters on them to mean different things. There are 6 variations that are the most popular and commonly used. Bored Ape Yacht Club went with kamikaze to indicate Imperial Japan.
What the fuck is actually wrong with them? Bro, this is actually insane. What the fuck? Wait, the fact that all of this just links back to like, bro, these men are just racists. They're just fucking like, bro, they're literally neo-Nazis. Bro, they are fucking crackhead, man.
And suicide pilots. A sushi chef would never wear this headband. The safari helmet is a British or European pith hat used by the British Empire in colonizing Africa, and Belgium and the Congo, led by King Leopold II, who, as you know, cut off Congolese hands. The kami hat is known as a ushanka, and with the sickle and hammer, it represents the Soviet Union or the USSR, worn during World War II while Russians were commanded by tyrannical leader Joseph Stalin. The fez is a potential reference to the Ottoman Empire, but there's also such thing as a Nazi fez. With all of these helmets and headwear, one can see a clear picture of Chan culture's fetishization of power and dominion of those they deem weaker. October 2021, music manager Guy Oseary, founder of management firm Maverick, who represents Madonna and U2, acquired representation of Bored Ape Yacht Club. This would include securing book deals, music, television, video games, and even movie integrations. This was a power play for Bored Ape Yacht Club because it legitimized funding and star power behind the project. With the connections of Guy Oseary, Bored Ape Yacht Club now had a way to control the media messaging around their project.
The project obviously has so much hype and so much support. There's also been criticism. Some people connected some of the images to racist tropes. I'd love to give you the opportunity to respond to that criticism.
It's apes, because aping in is very much a nod to this community, to crypto enthusiasts, to people who aped in early. So the story is about them. One of the founders is
why he's a monkey then?
One is Turkish, one is Pakistani, one is Cuban. Guy Oseary, who's one of the partners that came in later last year, is Israeli. I myself am Cuban, and I'm actually first generation.
So why monkey? You know,
the idea that we're neo-Nazis or alt-right is offensive. It's hurtful.
Okay.
It's totally untrue.
That's really personal to you, that criticism.
The idea that you can't be racist, or even ironically racist, because you're ethnic is the saddest excuse I've ever heard. And this interview is bought by Guy Oseary. Here he is pictured with the founder of D3, and this woman looks oddly familiar. Guy Oseary is even referred to as the fifth ape, a reference to the fifth Beatle. When Ryder launched GordonGoner.com, Guy Oseary went off the deep end. Ryder Rips described to me a 2-hour phone call consisting of Guy Oseary.
When Guy Oseary called me in December with his fake ass Meyer Lansky Jewish mob bullshit and said, "My friends tell me you're a nice guy. Are you a nice guy? Because I can be a nice guy and I can also not be a nice guy." I knew I had to pursue this to the bitter end.
Screaming at him to stop digging into the project. After Ryder explained the symbolism to Oseary, he replied with, "Who am I to judge what art is?" And remember that Rolling Stone interview I mentioned? Gordon Goner stated, "Are we the Beastie Boys of NFTs? Because right after our initial success, it felt like the Beastie Boys going on tour with Madonna. Everyone was like, who the fuck are these kids?" The Rolling Stone article then states, funnily enough, Madonna's longtime manager, Guy Oseary, signed on to rep the foursome about a month after Goner made this comment to Rolling Stone. It's just so ironic that Bored Ape Yacht Club would go on to partner with Madonna's manager, Guy Oseary. Here's the family tree of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Greg Solano and Wiley Arano are from Miami. They met later in life at a bar arguing about literature. Karem Adelaide and Zayshan Ali went to University of Maryland together. Greg Solano also attended University of Maryland, but would go on to get his MFA at University of Virginia. The P.O. Box of Yuga Labs is in Alexandria, Virginia. The CEO of Yuga Labs, Nicole Muniz, went to high school with Wiley. Mark Andreessen is the funding, Guy Oseary is the management and PR, and it's not a far stretch to say that Neil Strauss is their Rolling Stone media connection. He is also writing a book based on Bored Ape Yacht Club. Guy Oseary and Neil Strauss go back to 1998, when Guy Oseary was featured in the credits of Neil Strauss's biography on Marilyn Manson. One of the most mind-boggling parts to this ongoing story is celebrity endorsement. Everywhere you look, a new celebrity flaunts their hideous Nazi propaganda. I wouldn't expect them to know any better, but there's something going on underneath the surface. I know most celebrities are denser than a cement block, but you can't convince me they would all spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on these JPEGs just because of hype culture. So what's actually going on? In a Twitter Spaces video, Ben Baller, a celebrity jeweler, describes the process of receiving a Bored Ape.
Real talk, not once, not twice, 3 times I've been offered a Bored Ape through MoonPay. I had Adidas hit me up, my DMs, you know, on Instagram. Hey man, you want to co-host Space with us, blah, blah, whatever. Told you own a Bored Ape. No, I fucking don't. You know, hit me up. And it's just, I don't know what it was, but the fact that some of these super top tier all-star NBA players had them, and I was like, yo, this is all cap. I mean, there was an NDA they try to send my agent and shit too, you know.
I mean, there's definitely NDAs and everything there, but I'm you know, positive there's, you know, something.
No, what I'm saying is for me, if I was to accept, you know.
They wanted you to not
disclose that they wanted you to not disclose that they had purchased the ape for you.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. They wanted to seem like you bought it for yourself because you liked it.
Which you know what the craziest thing about that is that a lot of celebrities who are going into this, they're probably just stoked to get the ape, and they don't even realize a lot of them probably don't consult their legal and shit like that beforehand. Yeah. But they're actually asking you to commit fraud on their behalf.
That's right. MoonPay has celebrities sign NDAs or non-disclosure agreement contracts revealing how they received the ape.
I just got my first NFT.
Oh, you did? What was it?
Through MoonPay.
Okay.
MoonPay, which is, I'm figuring, I did my homework.
Okay.
MoonPay, which is like PayPal, but for crypto.
In fact, the celebrities aren't even buying them, and they're lying through their teeth about why they bought them, all while committing fraud on MoonPay's behalf. Receiving a Bored Ape as an endorsement and not explicitly stating that you were compensated violates the Federal Trade Commission's laws. So next time you see a celebrity show off their Bored Ape, you can see who's a puppet taking advantage of their audience, all while unknowingly contributing to an apocalyptic political ideology backed by the technocratic elite. You may be asking yourself, who designed these apes in the first place? Surely they would be the ones responsible for drawing the racist imagery, right? Currently, it is believed that there are 6 artists on the Yuga Labs team. However, there was an artist in particular that provided the base layers for the apes. Her name was Seneca. When confronted and shown the finished designs, she claimed she did not even recognize the final product and was shocked at the characteristics she saw. Seneca described payment from Yuga Labs as not ideal. After all, they were rolling in millions of dollars and she wasn't even getting a slice of the pie. However, it is speculated that Seneca received a $1 million bonus from the company after media outlets front-ran her story. At the end of the day, Seneca, a very talented artist, was not responsible for this imagery. The Bored Ape Yacht Club project represents a sinister commentary on people's eagerness to hop on trends and projects just because it's in the spotlight. I say this is an ongoing story because on April 30th, 2022, 1 year after launching Bored Ape Yacht Club, Yuga Labs launched a metaverse called Other Side. If the date sounds familiar, it's because it's also Hitler's death day. The sprites available in the video game that doesn't exist yet are called codas, spelled with a K. In music, coda with a C means the end, and obviously the theme of transitioning from life to death or crossing to the other side. Their new metaverse also features Stonewall Jackson, a reference to the Confederate leader Stonewall Jackson, and Plot 1 is owned by Emperor Tomato Ketchup. Along the way, Ryder Rips was able to open the eyes of thousands of people by organizing the information and explaining the full context to the best of his ability, knowing all too well that the barrier to entry of this information is diving down the deep rabbit holes of white supremacy, the alt-right, and 4chan. But now, one thing's for certain. He was correct in telling me that Bored Ape Yacht Club is the biggest troll in internet history. Now that you know everything there is to know about Bored Ape Yacht Club's cute little social experiment, what can we do about this? Well, as it stands right now, the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club operate relatively unchecked. That's because there's no real pressure. Their tactic of using plausible deniability and dumb excuses to deflect from the truth is about to change. Nicole Muniz, I really hope you had no idea this was going on. And if you didn't, that means your business partners strung you along because they think of you as a normie. It's unfortunate if you got roped into this.
I don't think she's part of that. I think it might be
we will not be silenced. That's all I'm gonna say. Gordon, Garga, Tomato, and Sass.
I also think these guys are pussies. Like, I think they're feckless for doing this. It's like, they are, bro. It's like, go fucking do, like, why are you making this girl you went to high school with speak for you on tape?
I want every celebrity, actor, athlete, and influencer to burn their fucking ape. I want to make such a fucking shitstorm that everyone from Steph Curry to Post Malone to Jimmy Fallon is forced to act. You see, this little price tag is contingent on you, the market, the people. But in their minds, it's the normies, the sheep that made them rich. So I ask you, are you a fucking sheep? I want each and every one of you to tweet #burn BAYC on Twitter. Let's play their game. Burn means to destroy, but it's also something you can do with your NFT if you hold one. Not only will we sink Bored Ape Yacht Club because of their disgusting scheme, we will send a message. This message will be loud and clear. We will not be manipulated. To piss off 8 profile pictures and amplify his own research, Ryder created Ryder Rips Bored Ape Yacht Club. Ryder won a DMCA takedown request against Yuga Labs, solidifying the point that you can't copy an NFT. Ryder also set his royalties to 0%. In this case, it's truly not about the money. He is also creating Ape Marketplace, saving people billions of dollars a year in gas fees. Oh, and if you see my profile picture, don't be fooled. It doesn't contain any racist imagery. It's also from the Ryder Rips Bored Ape Yacht Club collection. Silly goose, you can't copy an NFT. And I think I'll call him Caesar. You can even use him as your profile picture, because we're about to take over.